Good day everyone. Welcome to Azure Databricks series. In today's video, we are diving into a step-by-step guide on how to schedule jobs for notebooks in Azure Databricks. If you are looking to automate your data pipelines, streamline your workflow, and make sure your notebooks run on schedule without any manual intervention, you are in the right place. I will walk you through the entire process from creating a job to setting up the schedule and ensuring your notebooks run efficiently in Azure Databricks environment. Whether you are new to scheduling jobs or just looking to fine tune your automation skills, this guide will help you master it step by step. Before we jump into the details, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more helpful tutorials and insights on Azure Databricks and other data related topics. All right, let's get started with scheduling jobs in Azure Databricks. I will head on to the workspace here, and then what I'll do is let's click on plus new here and then click on job. First, what I'll do is I will name this job as demo underscore job one, yeah, and then I will name this. What I'll do is I will name this task as execute notebook, execute demo notebook, yeah, and then the type, we have several types here, yeah. So you can use any of these things like Python script, Python wheel, SQL, Delta table, Delta live table pipeline, and things like that. But for this demo, I'm going to use the notebook here, yeah. And as far as the source is concerned, I will leave it as a workspace, yeah. And then let's select the required path for the notebook, yeah. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this demo underscore notebook one. Yeah, let's confirm that. So it's in place. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the required job cluster. Yeah, so the job cluster here basically shows me it is 144 GB. 36 cores. I actually don't require that. So what I'm going to do is first let's click on this combo box. So we have these clusters here. Yeah. So this cluster is an all-purpose compute cluster, which I'm using it for on-the-fly query execution and to check things. Basically, I use it for development. But since it is going to be a job, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new job cluster, okay. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select it as a single node, yeah. Single user is fine, yeah. And then the Databricks runtime version is going to be 15.4 LTS. I'm going to uncheck use photon acceleration, and node type 4 cores and 16 GB is fine for me. The only thing is I don't want to go for high spec configuration and then end up paying a lot of money. For my demo, a 4 core with 16 GB single node cluster is enough. So let's click on confirm here. Yep, and if you see here, we are going to use a job cluster called execute demo notebook cluster, and it's going to be 4 cores and 16 GB. Yeah. Next, you have an option to schedule this. Yeah. So what we'll do is let's first click on create task. Yeah. Once this is done, what we can do is let's click on add trigger here for the schedule, yeah. And then what you can do is you can if you want to schedule it, click on scheduled, and then you can have the schedule type selected as appropriate, yeah. Simple is every 1J, yeah. Advanced is basically going to give you some more control, stating you can run it every minute, hour, day, week, month, and then you can specify the required time also. Yeah. In my case, I'm going to schedule it. I'm going to execute it manually. Yeah. So I will leave this as a trigger type as none and manual. Yeah. Let's add a notification as well if required. In my case, I'm not going to add a notification, but I will let you know how to do that. Yeah. job notification, click on edit notification and click on add notification. Yeah. So supported destination, email, Microsoft Teams, PagerDuty, Slack, and Webhook. Yeah. So let's go with email address. You can select email and then you need to key in the required email address here. Yeah. And then you will basically have to advise whether you need an email, the start, success, failure, all these information you can select. Yeah. And you need to give a proper email address here. You need to give a proper email address. So in my case, I will give it as this one. Yeah. And then you can click on save. Yeah, in my case, I don't need any notification, so I'm not going to do that. But if you need a notification, this is the way to do that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to run this. Yeah, if you have a schedule, the job will be executed as per the schedule. But since I don't have a schedule, let me execute it now. Yeah, so if you can see here, triggered run. So we have started it. And then under the data engineering, you have something called job brands. If you can click on that, you will be able to see that you have something called demo underscore job one, which we created. Yeah. And then if you see here, it is the start time is around 14 November 2024 around 11:43 a.m. Yeah, so this is the one that we just started. Yeah, now what I'll do is like let's go to the compute. Yeah, and then if you see here, this particular all-purpose compute is basically not started. Now, if you go to this job compute, you will be able to see that this particular job compute was created when we started this particular job here. Yeah, so let's wait for it to complete. It's a very simple notebook. Once it is completed, and if you go back to the compute, the job compute that you're seeing here will go down. So right now it is switched on. Yeah. Once this job compute comes online, it completes its work. What will happen is like it will go down. Yeah. Let's wait for the job to complete here. I will pause this video, and once this job completes, I will resume it back. Okay, so in my case, the job basically failed. So let's look at it. And if you see here, the reason why the job failed is like the cluster was terminated, Azure quota exceeded exception. Yeah. So the machine that I'm trying to use, standard D4DS underscore V5, that's not available for me. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to that job. Yeah. And then I'm going to change that. I'm going to make sure like my job will use a different VM that is that can be used in as far as the quota is concerned in my subscription. Let's go to the tasks here. Yeah. So we have this here. So let's click on edit here for my cluster. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to leave everything else as is. Only thing is like I'm going to change this node type. Yeah. Let me type that what I need, standard underscore D4 DS underscore V4. So this is the one that I'm going to use. Yeah. And then let's confirm it. Let's save the task. Yep. So what we will do now, let's click on run now again. So it's executed. Instead of going to the data engineering job runs, let's click on this view run here. And then if you see here, it's pending right now. So gonna take some time. Now, if I click on it, so the first one failed, the second one is pending now. So let's go to the compute and go to the job compute. If you see here, this one basically failed. Yeah, we have the same error, SKU not available. So now I've utilized a different node type, and let's see what happens this time. So now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to pause this video, give it like another 2 minutes here, and then I will resume it back. Okay, so if you can see here, the job has completed. Yeah. Now let's go inside the job. Before that, let's click on this. Then if you can see here, it basically took close to 0.32 seconds, but in order for the job uh, cluster to be deployed and things like that, it took close to 5 minutes. So using a job to execute a notebook or any other script is going to have some latency. Yeah. If you don't need any latency and if your workload is not fine with latency, then you will have to use a cluster that is always running. Yeah, but in case of you are using a job cluster, then expect some latency for that job cluster to come online. Yeah, now let's go to the compute here. Yeah, and then go to the job compute. And then if you can see here, as soon as that job completed, you can see that this particular job cluster that was created as part of the job that we created has come down. Yeah. So whenever you create a new job, the job will create a new job cluster, and once it is completed, it is basically going to bring that job cluster down. Yeah. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.